In 5th century Istanbul, or Constantinople as it was known then, there were no televisions, tablets, or even photographs. There were very few man-made images in the world. So looking at pictures, mosaics and statues in a church would be a very emotional and traumatic experience. Worshippers would kneel and kiss these objects, and they were seen as a conduit or path to Christ, Mary, or the saints. The objects you are seeing are called icons, after the Greek word for likeness, image, or portrait. A particular form of icon was called a Pantocrator, a word deriving from the Greek meaning all-powerful or ruler of the world. This particular icon was found in St. Catherine's Monastery in Sinai, in the middle of a desert. The only reason, probably, that it actually survived was because it was in such a desolate place, and it was only discovered in the 1950s. Imagine you are a 5th century worshipper in a church in Constantinople, and looking into those eyes must have been quite an experience. This is the figure of a bearded Jesus Christ. He looks at you with a delicate right hand which is raised in a blessing, and he carries a richly ornamented book of the Gospels in his left hand. There are some other elements. Firstly, the halo is quite large and made of gold. Secondly, there are buildings at the back suggesting that he is in the open air, possibly giving a sermon. On the top left and right corners there are stars which are 8-pointed and might refer to the 8th day when Christ was resurrected. And finally, I want to show that this icon does seem to be in two halves, and if we separate the face, we find that there are two people here. One young, spiritual, and the other very mature and powerful. This displays a belief of the early church of the dual nature of Christ, both divine and human.